Hi, it's Nikki from Fabulously Creative, and I wanted to share with you my memory keeping system that I have been using for the last few months. I have not shown this because I was trying to find my style. So I've been using a traveler's notebook. I think the last memory keeping system I left off, I was using this, but I left off maybe March. I left off with this. So I want to do this traveler's notebook flip through so I can kind of show you, like, I don't know, the style I've been using. So I started this in August, and the front cover was kind of an afterthought. Oh, and I have not added anything on the cover because I don't know how many months this will cover. Like, I didn't want to put, so when I started, I thought I would only cover 1 month in here, but it covers a few months. So let's start with August. And so for August, I documented back to school and the American Crafts design team. And all of the paper, most of the papers in this traveler's notebook are from the Maggie Holmes round trip collection. So all of the papers on here, on both spreads, are from there, and the rest is stuff that I pulled from my stash. Like this and this sticker, that is some really old stuff. And then the other part of August, I don't know, I kind of skipped this part. I'll come back to why I skipped. August was a really hard month for me. I was transitioning. My son went back to school in August, but we have been doing homeschool for the past 2 years. So it was a really hard transition, and the plan was to document that here, but I don't know, I just have not been able to get that page together. So let's move on to September. So September, I launched my it's a monthly digital subscription kit. So this is the one for September. And this paper on this side is from the Maggie Holmes round trip. And these puffy alphas are from, I know it's called Garden Shop. Paige Evans Garden Shop. And everything else on here is from that digital kit. And that is just like the little screenshot. I put that, but I printed it the wrong size. And the plan was to go back and reprint it so it fits in that cup nicely. And it's a kit mainly for planning. Well, I use it for planning and journaling, but it can work for planning, journaling, or memory keeping. So let's move on. This is one of my favorite spreads. So again, the papers are from, all of the papers, like even what I matted the photos on, are from the Maggie Holmes round trip collection. And I cleaned out my craft room that month. I kind of organized things. And I had this box of chipboard. So I'm trying to use this chipboard throughout this album. So I love the way this chipboard matches with the newer collections. All of this chipboard is from the Maggie Holmes. I think this one may have been from, I don't know, it's either called Bloom or Shine, but it's about 5 years old. So I like to mix like older and newer collections. And I like that they're by, everything on here is from Maggie Holmes, but it's like years apart. And then we have this spread, which I really love, but it is out of my color comfort zone. I normally do not use a lot of blue, but this just worked. Again, the paper, what I mounted the photos, and that paper is from the new Maggie Holmes, the round trip. And then all of these older pieces, all of the chipboard, are from an old Maggie Holmes thing. And I think this is just a random sticker from my stash. But I was enjoying, I don't know, I guess mixing the new and the old together, because that's kind of what I was doing. I have the new collections, but I was trying to use up some old stuff. And then we have October, and this is the October digital kit from my shop. And I think this was my favorite. I think I've used this in everything, like my planner, my journal, everything. But this is the October kit. Had a little calendar, the sweater weather. I think I used that in my December daily too. So that's October. And then here we have, I think this is my favorite spread. This spread is kind of what this project was about. So I mentioned I had been having a hard time just adjusting from homeschool to my son being out every day. And I was just having a really hard time because I was like, it was that question, am I sad? Am I depressed? I'm happy. I'm not. I don't know. I was just having just a moment of, I guess, just emotional confusion. And then there was also I was having anxiety because, I don't know, through the whole pandemic, my son has been with me during that whole time. And my husband works from home. So we have been in like this little bubble. And none of us got sick the entire time. Not a sniffle. So I had a lot of anxiety about my son being out the house. So I read this book, The Mountain Is You. And the book is about, or I said it was about self-sabotage and why we sabotage ourselves. Explaining kind of like I guess you can explain like New Year's resolutions. You start all these big resolutions and you're going to do this and that and this new diet, exercise plan. And it says why you don't follow. It explains why you don't follow through with it. This was just a really good book because it explained, I guess, I don't know, just the phase I was in. I recommend this book for anybody who is going through, I don't know, just any big change, healing process, transformation. It's called The Mountain Is You. I think it's by Brianna West. I covered that part up. But I love this layout. And again, the papers are from that Maggie Holmes round trip. And then these two are from, no, this was from the October collection. And this is just something old from my shop. And then on this side, this is just a craft room selfie. And again, the papers from round trip. And these two older chipboards are from one of the Maggie Holmes. I don't know which one. And then I thought this little word sticker, growth, went perfectly right there. And this sticker is just a stash dive. I have no idea where that is from. I don't know, but it is mounted on the paper. It's mounted on this paper right here. And I love the way the blues and the browns, and I just love the way all the colors came together on this spread. All right, and then for this one, I think this is the only paper that is not from that Maggie Holmes round trip. This is from the cut shop. I'm going to get it together. The Paige Evans cut shop. I love this pattern. Now, I really wanted to use it. So I layered a piece of vellum on top and I did my spread on the vellum and then just put everything down. And this is a good way to use really bold papers. And I'm just documenting my new crafty corner. I cleaned, like I have a closet in my craft room and I cleaned the closet out and pulled some things out the closet so they would be more accessible. And I had been crafting so much since I pulled that stuff out of the closet. And then this side, I'm just documenting my library stack. And this paper is from Round Trip. And all these other bits are random stuff from my stash. Oh, and these two little chipboards are more of those Maggie Holmes. I have no idea which collections. I think I went through a phase. I was just buying chipboard. And I really don't use chipboard. And I have a hard time using it. And I enjoyed using it in here. I know a lot of people don't like using chipboard in a traveler's notebook. So that is kind of where I stopped. So the plan is to finish out in November and maybe just add like, because I have a few pages left, add like a December, I don't know, maybe a December snapshot or a December highlights page and finish this off for the year. But I'm thinking this will be my new memory keeping journaling style going into the new year. And I just wanted to show it before I just popped up doing spreads. And you're like, she hasn't done memory keeping in a while. But let me just show you all how chunky that looks. I love that look. I know a lot of people do not like when travelers' notebooks get like this. But I love all the chipboard in there. And I think I'm going to keep this going with the chipboard until I use up that chipboard, because it's a good way to get rid of some of that chipboard. So I hope you enjoy this flip through, and I will be showing more spreads. And I guess I'm going to try and finish this up by the end of December. So I hope you enjoy this, and stay tuned for more memory keeping spreads.